From the Glen Cambell Museum in downtown Nashville, it's our host Keith Burns with the stories behind the songs.
This is Keith Burns. We're here with Galen Griffen. It's the Rhinestone Stage here, Glen Cambell Museum, the gem of Lower Broad, and we're here, like I said, with my buddy Galen Griffen, Double G. What are you on the other side of the Mississippi? Grayford Greeley on the other side. We in this day and age, we're all having to come up with little ideas to, to get more out of our careers. He's come up with a different name. So let's we've touched on
Diffie.
We've touched on Luke Bryan. We've touched on Clay, which was a huge change to your life.
Yes.
Obviously, Joe Diffie changed your life. I want you to talk a little bit about Joe in this segment. I want you to let how number one, how you met Joe and how you came to write. And I think it's another Kerry Kurt Phillips song with you. How you came to write on the song on his Bluegrass, which is my favorite song on the Bluegrass record.
Man, that means a lot.
It's my favorite by far.
Thank you. And I keep people call me all the time about that.
We just blew through Gadsden the other day, and I
say,
thought about you, Decatur and Gadsden, Alabama.
And somehow it got on. They play it on XM all the time on the Bluegrass.
Man, do me a favor and just give us the story behind that song,
Sure.
And then play that song. That's, and you know what? At this point in time, we want to give a shout out to Kerry Kurt Phillips and Kerry, if you're watching, I would love to have you on the show. I know my producer here is a huge fan of Kerry's work, and as is everybody that's ever. A lot of people that you don't even hear you don't even know who that. They'll just walk through the airport and you go, you know who that is? Yeah. Who? He wrote.
He's one of the best.
And talk about a guy, Jimmy Webb. Who was Glen Cambell's, who wrote
Monster.
And a lot of people just think, well, Glen Cambell. Well, no, and that's why here in Stories Behind the Songs, we like to get down to where. So just give me a little bit of insight.
I knew I didn't know it was going to be a Diffie cut. I didn't have when I wrote it, of course. But
did you know he was cutting the Bluegrass record?
Yes.
Okay.
I knew that.
All right.
And but we went in and demoed it on me, and to get a deal, and it was my last hurrah.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
that was it
for me. Yeah, because I knew I had a song.
Right.
So anyway, it was. This is the only. I can tell you this. It was the only song ever in my life that my wife. I was in the shower, and I was thinking about my mama. I was missing my mama, and boy, just hit me. Something hit me like God hit me like a sledgehammer.
I get it.
And I yelled for Sherry, and I said, you got to come here and get a piece of paper. And I said, everything I say, write down. And she said, what? I said, everything I say, write down. Trust me. And she did. And, it was coming out of me, man. And so that's about 11 o'clock. And I got out, and I had the first verse in the title. And I called Kerry Kurt at 11 o'clock, 11:30. What you doing? Whatever. And I said, so you know me. I went to selling. Right, I had to go to selling because Kerry Kurt's a hook guy.
Yeah.
He wants that hook. And if he finds that hook and can see the whole picture, the paint behind it,
right,
he's all in.
He's all in, yeah.
But if he ain't got that, no, sir. And I knew the hook. I had it in my head. I knew what I wanted in my head. So I went to selling it. Like, listen to me, Cake. Because I was like, I called him Cake. And I told him the first verse. After I told him, I said, look, the song is my mama's address. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, Route 5, Box 109. Her literal address. And I said, so I did that, and I sang him the first verse. And he said, come to the house. And we stayed up to 4:30. And then we chiseled on it for probably 2 months. Or not 2 months, but 6 writes.
Right.
Something like we went to Whitley.
Well, this song in particular, it is by definition meticulous.
Oh, yeah.
You listen to all the way down to, it even gives the great Glen Cambell a shout out. It's all the way down to the rabbit ears on the TV and I'm getting chills thinking about this because I mean, every little memory, the things, and don't want to give the song away by no means, but just when you listen to this song, when I listen to this song, man, it takes me back to 1970, right when I was about 9 years old kid, and I'm just, man, every bit of this.
Thank you.
I mean, every bit of it.
Thank you.
You know, so.
So, it was just a blessing, man. And Diff called me and he said, "Man, I love that song of yours." And I'm like, "Huh? What? What'd you say?"
You didn't even know he heard it, did you?
No. Kerry Kirk.
Kerry Kirk. Yep.
I didn't know.
Yep.
And he heard me singing it. He said, "Man, I love that song of yours." I'm like, "We was playing golf." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Route 5. I'm like, "Huh?" He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna cut it." And I almost wrecked the golf cart. Yeah, that's like Gene Watson to me. I was like, "Oh Lord, I can't, oh Lord!" And then he cut it with Rhonda Vincent and Carl Jackson.
Yeah, two of the best.
And I mean, it ought to won a Grammy to me.
Yeah,
with them on it.
Yeah, well, it's something special. That why don't you play it for us?
Absolutely, I'd be honored. Thank you.
Thank you.
Somewhere outside of Gadsden, I saw Mama standing in the kitchen, and along about Decatur started smelling taters and fried chicken. And then a trooper pulled me over, said if I drove any slower, he was gonna lock me up for just killing time. He said, "Boy, have you been drinking?" I said, "No, sir. I'm just thinking about Route 5, Box 109. I was thinking about Red Wigglers and a stranger full of brim, and the sound of King of Spades made, and the spokes of my old Schwinn, when I was racing Richie Poland for a great knee high. Lately I've been thinking about Route 5, Box 109. Pulled back on the freeway, found me a country DJ out of Huntsville. I called him up just hoping he'd help keep my tired eyes open till I reach Nashville. I talked, he just listened about the place he'd been missing, and then he left. When he came back on that line, he said, "Boy, the switchboard's blanking. You got half of Alabama thinking about Route 5, Box 109, about your mama's cat head biscuits and Martha White's self-rising flour, and getting rabbit ears position for Glen Cambell's good time and the sound of my daddy snoring, playing gentle on my mind. And lately I've been thinking about Route 5, Box 109, and that bed of black-eyed Susans in a white wash tractor tire, and a set of threadbare sheets hanging on an old clothesline wire. My mama's bucket full of salt, making sure what we had shine. Mama made it shine. Lately I've been thinking about Route 5, Box 109. Lately I've been thinking about Route 5, Box 109.
That's Galen Griffen. Route 5, Box 109 here.
Thank you so
on
much.
the Rhinestone stage.
Thank you.
You got one song that you do that's special that I like. If you can close
Sure,
us
I'll be
out
honest.
with that song. And
It's brand new, man, I played it for you the last time I was here. I told you I was trying to knock you out.
you did.
Well, I thank you.
When phones had a cord.
You need to tell Snyder about this one.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching Dallas, Fall Guy, and Family Feud, the Dukes of Hazzard and Tom and Jerry every afternoon. And Mama on the party line talking to Hank Maxine about what they were wearing Sunday, but mostly gossiping. And Daddy mad at that antenna, yelling, move it a little more. When TVs had 3 channels and phones had a cord. When families ate together and talked about their day. When Facebook and Twitter would have been from outer space. When the week was made for working and Sundays were strictly for the Lord. When TVs had 3 channels and phones had a code. Life seems so simple back in yesterday. You could take a man for his word when he gave a firm handshake. But this old world is changing. It's getting faster every day. And there's no amount I wouldn't give just to live a slower pace. Oh, if I could only go back, I'd run right back for sure. When TVs had 3 channels and phones had a cord. When families ate together and talked about their day. When Facebook, Twitter would have been from outer space. When the week was made for working and Sundays were strictly for the Lord. When TVs had 3 channels, phones had a cord. I miss TVs with 3 channels and phones with a cord.
Man, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Great job, buddy.
Thank
Hey,
you
my
so
brother.
much.
Always good
I
to
love
see
you.
you. Love
Thank
you too, man. Thanks for being on the Rhinestone stage.
Thank you.
Glen
It's an
Cambell
honor.
Museum.
I hear that.
Ladies and gentlemen, join us next time. But
Thank you so much.
so glad to have Galen Griffen here. God bless you. We'll see you next time on Stories Behind the Songs.